Welcome back to Charlie Brown Politics. I am your host, Charles Brown. Today's video is going to be covering RFK Jr. He's talking about a legitimate plan and a response to a crucial problem in this country. That problem is going to be our housing crisis. Not a lot of people can afford to buy a home anymore. House prices are gone through the roof. Renting prices have gone through the roof. Now, before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, here we are covering the 2024 presidential election, but we are doing it through the lens of working class and poor people. So if you're into that, please subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's let RFK explain a little bit more of this housing crisis that our country is going through, shall we?
We've all heard stories of 20 and 30-year-old kids who can't afford to buy a house and even can't afford rent and are moving back in with their parents. This isn't happening because young people have suddenly gotten lazy. Monthly mortgage payments for home buyers are up 20% just in the last year, and that's because interest rates have doubled. Meanwhile, the cost of the average home has gone from $250,000 to $400,000 just since 2019. And those higher home prices have also driven up the cost of rent. So now Americans are paying a third of their income for rent. That's the highest ratio since records were kept. So what's happening? Well, what's happening is BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, these giant corporations which own 88% of the S&P 500, are going into real estate. These investment firms swoop in as soon as a house comes on the market. They outbid prospective home buyers with cash offers. They add that property to their investment portfolio, and then they rent it back to you or your children at the most exorbitant rate that the market can bear. So how can our kids or the typical American homeowner win a bidding war with BlackRock? By 2030, these giant corporations are on track to own 60% of the single-family homes in our country. So BlackRock wants to be everybody's landlord and everybody's neighbor, but I'm not going to let that happen. When I get to the White House, I'm going to restore affordable home ownership to every American, and I'm going to do that without raising the national debt. And here's how I'm going to accomplish that feat. I'm going to create a federal program that backs mortgages at 3% financed by tax-free bonds. These mortgages are going to be available to people only, not corporations. This will drop mortgage payments by more than $1,000 a month for a medium-priced home and allow your children to outcompete BlackRock in the market. So here's how it works. Imagine that you had a rich uncle who was willing to co-sign your mortgage. Well, I'm going to make Uncle Sam that rich uncle. It's not a giveaway, it's a loan guarantee that makes that property affordable to millions of Americans who cannot now afford it. This is just one of the policies that the Kennedy administration will deploy to create millions of new home buying opportunities at payments of less than $1,000 a month. We're also going to change the tax code to get corporations out of the single-family home market. And we're going to work with municipalities to get empty lots and derelict homes back into circulation at low prices. As President of the United States, I'm going to create a housing boom in this country the same way that we did it after World War II when we made home ownership affordable for working people. If you like this video and you want to help me become President of the United States, go to Kennedy24.com and donate now.
All right, lots of breakdown. So let's get into it. Now, the beginning of the video, he's pointing out how more and more people can no longer afford to buy a home. The prices of home have doubled. Rent prices have gone up. Interest rates have gone up to, I've heard, to 7% now, which is just crazy. I'm liking how he has an actual response to this, a legitimate plan. Now, I'm sure we're going to hear some critiques on this, unfair and fair critiques, but at least he's got a legitimate, tangible plan, actual response. It's not just words. He's saying, I want to help the working class. I want to help the poor. It's a legitimate plan that you can actually see and talk to him about. A guaranteed loan for every single American. I'm sure there's some flaws in that, but at least it's an actual plan, right? Let's talk about how it's somebody that understands the crisis that's going on and is voicing an actual plan against it. Where's Joe Biden's plan? Okay, your whole house could burn down and he'll just fly over, give you a crappy $700 check, and then talk about, I almost lost my cat and my Corvette, but 4 more years. So, I know my homie Cornell has got plans for the homeless and all that, which is another faction of our crisis, absolutely. But people not being able to afford to buy homes is another faction of it. And RFK having an actual response to that is pretty sweet. He's talking about taking these rundown homes, rebuilding them, making them affordable for people, understanding the fact that owning a home in this country is really the true way to build wealth. Okay, it's the only true way for people to build equity in this country. I like how he's calling out Vanguard, this huge investment firm that has more money than God and is now swooping in and buying up all the homes throughout America. And it's the same thing that they're trying to do in Lahaina, Hawaii right now. So people of Maui, do not sell your home. Please don't sell your home to these people. They're trying to buy it for pennies on the dollars. The people at Vanguard and BlackRock, these are the gatekeepers that Ice Cube is talking about. These are the rich men north of Richmond. The Great Reset, the World Economic Forum. I'm talking about Klaus Schwab and the Great Reset. This isn't just a conspiracy theory. They wrote a book about it and released it. You will own nothing and like it. So RFK calling out these people, calling out these investment firms, good on him. You can bet your dollar that they're investing a buttload of money into both political parties. And so if we're going to be looking at this through the lens of working class and poor people, this is looking pretty good. So good on RFK. People have critiques about him, but I'm going to stand up and agree with them when it's right. And this time it's right. So let's wrap it up right there, guys. What are you thinking about this plan? What do you like? What do you don't like? Just let me know down below. And with that, I will catch you on the next episode of Charlie Brown Politics. Later.